In this video we're going to show how to create an FTP account and how to use those details to connect to your website via an FTP client. In this instance we're going to be using the Filezilla client. So as you can see, we've already logged into our website panel, so we're going to click our hosting space name right here to get started, and we're presented with our standard home screen. In this instance we need to make note of some information that's shown on this screen because we're going to need to give it to Filezilla later on. The bit that we're interested in is shown over here on the right next to location. As you can see, ours is shown as Web6 and SQL6. These are the names of the servers upon which the various parts of our plan reside. The one that we're interested in this example is Web6 because that's where our files for our website are going to live. So if we take a note of Web6, we'll come back to that later on. On the left hand side we've got an item here called FTP Accounts. So if we were to click that, we now need to create ourselves a user. We do that by clicking the Create FTP Account button right here, and we're going to give our user a name. We're also going to give a password as we normally would and confirm that password. Now in the home folder, normally you'd want to select the root folder so that you can see all the files that are there, but in certain instances, especially if you've got subdomains etc., you'll need to drill down this list and select the relevant folder, but for this instance we're going to keep the root folder. We now assign our user Expeed hosting is access rights, whether he can read or write to that file. Once we're done, we hit the save button. And now we can see that our FTP user is created. What we're going to do now is switch over to Filezilla and use those details to connect using FTP. So here we are in Filezilla, and as you can see we've got our quick connect bar open. We can also use the site manager by clicking the top button in the left hand side here, but for this instance we're going to just use the quick connect. Now this is where we have to use the information from the website panel that we took note of earlier, because that forms part of the host name. If you remember, our files reside on Web6, so our host name becomes web6.expeed.com.au. Our username is the FTP account that we just created, and the password is the one that we gave at that time. We don't need to worry about the port if we don't want to. Everything is on the default port, which happens to be 21. Filezilla will know that. Once we've got everything ready, we can just click the quick connect button here, and we can see that we've got our listings here, and we can drill down as required into our wroot to find the files for our web server, and we've got all of the transactions going on here in the message log. And that's how you create and use an FTP account.